It's wonderful to have you here today, because nothing, absolutely nothing, happens by chance. The universe moves the right pieces, and your angel is telling you that there is a special reason for you to receive this message now. Think of the person who constantly invades your thoughts, the one your heart insists on calling. Who came to mind? Be honest with yourself. Do you feel that you're getting closer to what you want most, whether it's a lost love or a new flame that's igniting? And you know what? It's not just a feeling. It's a sign. It's destiny giving you that push you've been waiting for. What comes next could change everything. Maybe right now, there's a distance between you two that seems hard to bridge. Who pulled away first? Does it really matter? The truth is, the situation has worn thin, perhaps become too heavy, like both of you are carrying the weight of 1,000 uncertainties. Someone was left on the sidelines without support, and now feels a void echoing from within, a longing that cries out for your presence. Something was lost there, something that left an open space when you drifted apart. You know, and perhaps she knows too, that your presence in her life was not just anything. It was a source of strength, a light that brought safety amidst the shadows of doubt. She felt a confidence that is now gone with the wind of separation. And it's not just that, you were a refuge, a safe place where she could let down her guard and breathe without fear. This kind of comfort, this emotional shelter, seems to be something she simply can't find anywhere else. In the most difficult moments, when her world seemed to be falling apart, you were there. You were the calm in the storm, the shoulder to lean on when things became too heavy to bear alone. Those tough moments, when the odds seemed insurmountable, you were the support she needed. When she chose to distance herself, or when circumstances, not always under your control, intervened in some way, maybe something greater, something that God planned, who knows? She ended up losing an important source of peace and comfort she found in you. During the time you were by her side, she felt something that seemed true, something that made her see the sparkle in every detail of life, even if just for a moment. These moments may have been brief, intense, filled with a joy that seemed impossible to reach before. But what you experienced, whether a short romance, a simple flirtation, or something more intense, had a meaning that went beyond the usual definitions. It was like a spark that ignited something inside her. And now, with everything a bit unclear, with things seemingly heading toward an unofficial end, it's as if she's clinging to this memory, feeling a longing that has no name. She wishes, with every bit of herself, for you to come back. It's almost like something inside her isn't ready to let go of everything that was shared. This desire to have you close again is a reflection that she's still holding on to what you lived, to the feelings that were born there. She feels that something precious was left behind. And even if distance, time, or anything else has come between you, her heart still echoes the desire to feel that connection again, that peace you brought. You're dealing with someone who carries a restless soul, an energy that cannot be confined, a person who guards her freedom as a sacred asset and who somehow always resists being carried away by the depth of another soul. It's as if there's an invisible barrier that prevents this connection from deepening, but at the same time, it's fascinating how this barrier doesn't erase the impact you made. It's as if something of you has been left forever in her mind, something that doesn't fade, that continues to echo day after day, like a soft but constant melody. She might even try to move on, occupying herself with life's distractions, changing direction, places, people, but it's as if there's an invisible thread always pulling her back to those memories you built together. This impact was so profound that you became a kind of tattoo on her soul, something that cannot be removed, a mark that withstands time and changes. Your absence is almost like a shadow that follows her, a shadow that, even though intangible, is there, present in every step, every breath, every lost gaze into the void. And in the midst of all this, there is a point of conflict, a third person who was already there from the beginning, even before your paths crossed. When everything began to deepen between you, that person was already there, almost taking root in your life, bringing intense baggage, a possessive desire to have for themselves someone you started to consider special. And things moved too fast, a mix of feelings that became unbearable. The pressure was strong and began to suffocate. It reached a point where it was no longer possible to continue. There was no choice but to pull away. You felt firsthand that, to protect your inner peace, cutting all ties was the only way out. And listen, I know it wasn't easy. In the middle of this whirlwind, you went through a suffering that only those who live it understand. The anguish hit hard, the chest tightened, and it felt like the ground was disappearing. Every moment of pain you went through is legitimate, it's yours. Every tear, every doubt, every insecurity has its weight and deserves to be respected. And if today you still feel this discomfort, this anxiety that comes out of nowhere, or an insecurity that holds you back, take a deep breath. Know that there is a light by your side, something greater, like a guardian angel, who holds you even when you think you're alone. This energy is there, accompanying you, whispering in your heart that things will get better. It might be hard to believe now, in the middle of the storm, but this feeling of heaviness, this pain in your chest that seems endless, will dissipate. The person with whom you shared so many special moments is more open than ever to hear what you have to say. She always saw something different in you, a warmth, a presence that makes her feel at home. To her, you are someone with a welcoming way, a beauty that goes beyond appearance. It's as if she feels that there is something very strong that connects the two of you, something that cannot be explained with words alone, but that is there, vibrating in the air, whenever you are together. This attraction that you feel is not something shallow, that you see on the surface. It goes deep, to the heart of each soul, as if there were an energy that pulls you to each other in a way that defies any attempt to understand. It's as if there is an invisible but very real force that unites you, like you are pieces of a puzzle that fit perfectly. And this feeling, this certainty that there is something more between you, is what makes everything so intense and special. It is a bond that goes beyond the physical, that touches a more spiritual, deeper level. This person wants more than just a simple friendship. She desperately wants to rekindle that connection that was once so special between you. She wants to open those channels of communication again that may have closed, saying, without hesitation, let's talk again. It's as if she's always trying to hold back the urge to reach out to you, to speak with you, because the strength of what she feels is so great it leaves her off balance, somewhat lost. When feelings come to the surface, she feels exposed in a way she's not used to. Usually, she keeps her emotions under control, always guarded, but with you it's different. She understands how special you are, how you have an incredible ability to reinvent yourself, to make the best of any situation, no matter how complicated it seems. She sees in you a strength and adaptability that are worthy of admiration. There is something between you that never completely fades. It's like there is an invisible bond that continues to unite you, a connection that goes beyond spoken words. Even when silence takes over, there is a constant flow of thoughts and dreams that seem to echo between you. Many times, words almost came out, many messages were written, loaded with feelings that never reached their destination. They stayed there at the fingertips, but were never sent, creating a space full of intentions, of everything that could have been said, but for some reason, remained in the air. She tried to communicate with you sincerely, opening her heart in a message, but for some reason, it seems that this message never reached you. She used digital means to get her words to you, but those words got lost along the way. Maybe they ended up in the spam folder, or maybe some technical error prevented you from receiving them. The frustration she feels is almost palpable, because all her attempts to connect have failed. She's there on the other side, feeling powerless, unable to show how much your presence in her life matters. She shows regret. And she admits it's been difficult for her to feel capable of influencing your life or trusting you the same way as before, especially when the distance between you only grew. It's a kind of regret that isn't just about what was said or unsaid, but about what was felt and what couldn't be expressed. She is so sorry for having distanced herself, and now, looking back, she sees that it might have been a mistake. A hasty decision that only brought more uncertainty and sadness. Now, all that's left for her is this feeling of emptiness, of absence. The lack of you has weighed more and more. She is going through a tough time, a phase of suffering and dissatisfaction, where your absence has become a painful point in her life. She is in a whirlwind of emotions that go beyond longing. It's not just missing you, but the idea that you may be finding joy in the arms of someone else. It's as if, in her mind, a phrase repeats nonstop, "I should be the one in your thoughts." Her jealousy is real and painful, almost palpable, because she imagines you with someone new, someone who seems to offer you the love she always wanted to give, someone who shows they care deeply, someone who wouldn't think of leaving you. She feels a tightening in her chest every time she thinks of another person occupying the place she held by your side. If somehow you feel that these words don't directly apply to you, think again. It could be that these emotions touch someone close to you, a friend perhaps, or a family member who knows this confusion of feelings well and who has been by your side, offering support and understanding. There's no denying it. The situation is full of ups and downs, with emotion battling reason at every moment. However, even in the midst of this tangle of conflicting feelings, there is a thread of hope. A light energy, but present, suggesting that maybe there is still a way to rebuild what was broken. Maybe there is still room to rewrite this story, so that both of you can somehow find a more peaceful and happy way forward. She knows she was selfish. She is fully aware of this. She acknowledges that sometimes it seems like she was the one who pushed you away, left you in the dark, but deep down, that's not the truth. It took time, but she began to realize that all of this was a reaction, a poorly calculated defense mechanism, not a concrete reality. She acted as if she were the victim of everything, but now understands that much of what she did was impulsive, reckless, without thinking about how her actions and words could affect you. She carries a heavy regret, you know? It's a feeling that eats at her, a remorse that doesn't give her a break, because it is directly linked to what happened between the two of you. She regrets every second of what was said and done, and deep down, she blames herself a lot for it. She keeps struggling with thoughts that seem to have no end. I am not enough for you, but I want to try again, I want you with me. This is a phase of transformation, of a learning process that does not come easy. It's about being truly honest, not just with you, but above all with herself. Before, it was so much easier to hide what she felt. She always took refuge in a mask of indifference, pretended she didn't care, that she didn't feel anything. But now, she has reached a point where she can no longer hide. She feels she needs to face herself head-on, without looking away. She finds herself forced to face her emotions head-on, with no space to escape or ignore them. Every day, the reality of her choices and desires imposes itself on her, and the feeling of being lost seems to grow. Deep down, she feels that no one who comes into her life will ever be able to reach her essence. It's a constant restlessness, a deep emptiness that finds no rest. She lives tormented by the fear of never being truly understood by anyone again. Sadness invades her, a kind of silent, but persistent pain, like a wound that never heals. It is difficult for her to deal with the idea that she lost something so important. The notion that you were the best thing that ever happened in her life weighs on her as an undeniable truth. This feeling of failure, of having let something irremediable slip away, follows her like a shadow. The sense of loss is not just of someone, but of a part of herself that is gone. It is an absence that seems to scream in the silence, and she carries this in her heart, day after day, in a longing that seems endless. You have everything she values and seeks most. There's something in your eyes, a depth that seems to reach what she holds most secret. Your intelligence, your way of seeing the world, your ability to embrace. All of this fascinates her in an almost magical way. It's as if, by your side, she could finally let down her guard and be seen for who she truly is. It's not just about being heard, but about being understood on levels she has never experienced before. The feeling of being seen by you is unique, and she cherishes it as a rare treasure. That connection you had was something she never found anywhere else. She thinks about this constantly, in moments when she misses a gaze that truly sees, a presence that truly matters. And there is this energy in you, a kind of vibration she misses, a clarity and purity in your heart that makes her feel safe, without needing to pretend or mold herself to please. She recognizes that this kind of understanding is rare, and it is exactly that which haunts her, the fear that perhaps she will never find something like this again. On the other hand, she is determined. She knows she needs something meaningful to try to communicate again in a way that makes sense, that resonates. She no longer wants superficialities. She no longer wants empty words or automatic gestures. She wants truth, depth, something that truly touches. He is choosing his words carefully, thinking about every detail, every point, so that everything makes sense and you can feel the sincerity he carries. He doesn't want excuses. He doesn't want half-truths. He wants everything to be clear and straightforward. He wants you to see what's really going on, what he has gone through, what led him to make difficult decisions. No hiding emotions or masking intentions. He wants to make you a real offer, without empty promises or pretty words that mean nothing. He wants to give you a chance to start over, to heal the wounds, and maybe, just maybe, to revive what was interrupted. But he knows this can only happen if he is transparent, if he really opens up, without fear of showing his weaknesses, without fear of being human. That's why he wants this conversation to be different. He wants it to be a conversation where every word spoken is felt, where every sentence has a weight and a truth that you can see in his eyes. He wants you to feel what he feels, that he understands the mistakes, the failures, the decisions that hurt, but that he also understands the value of the moments you lived, the smiles, the long conversations, the sleepless nights spent together. He wants to tell you everything that happened while he was away, everything he learned, the unexpected turns in the road, the doubts, the fears, but also the moments of clarity, the moments when he realized that certain things in life cannot be ignored. That certain people, certain connections, are worth more than any pride or stubbornness. With this desire to be honest and open, he doesn't just want to fix what was broken. He wants to create something new on top of what has always been there, even if silently. He wants you to know that, despite everything, there is something that remains. A connection, a feeling that hasn't been erased, that has withstood time and distance. He wants you to see this, feel this, and maybe be willing to give a new chance to something that deserves to be lived again, but in a different, more mature, more conscious way. His proposal is simple. He wants to speak with an open heart, no filters, no secrets. He wants you to see who he really is, with his successes and failures, and that together, you can decide what to do from there. No rush, no pressure. Just two hearts that somehow still care. Let these words echo deeply in your soul. The universe is committed to ensuring your success and will continue to guide you towards positive outcomes, no matter the choices you make. Always remember that you are deserving and destined for a love that seems to be written in the stars. To fully absorb this message and all the blessings it carries, declare in the comments, "I accept," and open yourself to receive divine will today. Share your thoughts in the comments, don't forget to like, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the next important message coming in the next video. May God and the universe illuminate every step you take with peace, love, and faith. Amen.